Welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing how to protect your space, and this is for mentally, physically, and spiritually. But to start protecting your space mentally and spiritually, you do have to start with protecting your physical space first. That way you can start paying attention to your mental and of course your spiritual space. So let's dive into some of these tips that I have incorporated throughout these few years onto how to protect my space and how to prevent people from getting me out of character, changing my mindset, or helping me, or not helping me, or making me feel like I need to help them, or just a lot of things that people do to get you out of your space to make you feel like what you're doing for yourself is a hindrance and you need to be more for other people. But people don't realize that if you are not good with taking care of yourself, you won't be good with taking care of others. First step is called the declutter. And this is decluttering the people in your life, decluttering your home if it's filthy, decluttering your car if it's filthy. Everything that's in your life that seems to be overwhelming, you need to start breaking it down and decluttering it so it can start clearing space physically. Once your space starts feeling physically clear, then you can start breathing. And then now you can really think about what in my mind needs to clear. What spiritually do I need to develop and work on and clear out as well when it comes to, just, I would say from what I know is demonic spirits, but just how to cleanse all of that negativity out of your life. Number one, how I protect my space is basically being careful who I give my time to. As I mentioned in other previous videos, I've always been that friend that has put more into friendships and people than I have put into myself. So once I start realizing that I was putting so much energy into a lot of these friendships where when I look back on it, we had literally nothing in common. And most of the people didn't even know me because I never, like I said in previous videos, shared any deep things about me. Everything was very surface based, and a lot of it was just lies because, like I said, I really didn't trust people to dive into letting them in on the truth about me because I've been through a lot of betrayal. And when you go through betrayal, it's hard to tell anybody any truthful information because once you learn that telling the truth and getting that betrayal, you learn to really be very cautious on who you provide information to about yourself and what you got going on. Especially when you have betrayal where there's also people literally hindering you, trying to stop you from going somewhere and getting somewhere. When you have someone who's literally trying to like pull you down and you've been through that kind of betrayal, it's really hard to step into having someone come in and trusting that they're not trying to pull you down too. Being mindful of your time is important. So I start paying attention to what's important to me and then what I can entertain. So what I mean by that is I am cautious on what I watch on TV. I'm cautious on what I read and what I listen to because everything that I'm trying to put into my body needs to nourish and build me. And if it's not doing that, then I don't spend my time on it because I realize it reframed my mindset and made me think things that I normally wouldn't, gave me a double perspective because I'm listening to things that I truly don't agree with, but I'm doing it to do it. And a lot of people do that. You start diving into things that you truly don't believe or understand, but you're trying to search for something and you just go the wrong way. Number two, which is really important, and this is for safety purposes. And like I said, I don't let anyone know where I live. I'm very choosy on people having my phone number. I have been through a stage of a lot of blocking and changing numbers, and um, definitely never gave out my address. I'm very cautious on even giving out the proper cross streets because I've dealt with a lot of stalkers and people literally pulling up on me out of nowhere, stalking my parking spaces, hiding and popping out on me. I've had uh, I've had someone pop up on me at the pool, my apartment complex. It's just so many things. I've had threats, people threatening to shoot up my place, a lot of things. And like I said, I lived a different lifestyle prior. And when living that type of way, I've learned to be very cautious on who I give my information to, who I let pick me up at my house, who I let follow me home, who I let get my address on Uber, because a lot of people don't realize this either, but telling someone to Uber you somewhere and giving them your address is the same as telling them to pick you up. So just do everything yourself. If you are stepping into a new season in your life and you're untrustworthy of people, I've learned doing everything yourself. I pay for my own way. I pay for my own Uber. I'm very cautious on who I give my information to. I'm always with the meetups because I just had some really bad experiences, and I learned that my space is more important as well as my safety. And not having that in my life made me feel like I was off the rails, and it caused me a lot of anxiety. Me always looking over my shoulders, me always checking my phone, me always looking out my windows, me locking doors around the house. It was really an anxiety, and to now have that peace is a blessing. Once I started decluttering the physical people out of my life and the situations I was being involved in, I started to mentally figure out who I was and what I was really heading toward, and started finding my boundaries, finding my values and morals that I want to implement moving forward into my life. Because I think that, like with some people who grew up in broken homes, they don't really grow up in a home where we are learning values and morals and it being actually shown and implemented in our face. So now that I've honed in what the values and morals that I want to bring into my life and the principles that I'm going to be living by, which are the principles of God, and now that I know that, I'm going to be moving forward with those. And now that I have those boundaries in place, I know how to now implement them in all of relationships that I'll be having in the future. And I really think that finding your personal space is really how you start finding your boundaries. So if you didn't catch from the last video, number 3 was learning your boundaries and applying them. And then for number 4, I put down nurturing the relationships that you do value. So if you still have really good relationships with your parents or brothers and sisters, starting to hone in on those relationships and building a new relationship by setting boundaries, as well as just implementing more presentness and putting more time into those and building that communication so the bond can be stronger. And that's kind of what I've been doing with my life, is focusing more on the people who I value who've also proven to me that they are worth being in my life, and really just putting my heart into those people because I feel like they're more worth it. Number 5 is guilt over resentment. And I actually learned this from a psychologist that I watch in a podcast, and it made so much sense. Guilt over resentment. Sometimes we are so focused on people resenting us and people not wanting to be around us or liking us for having boundaries in place, that we rather take the resentment over the guilt of feeling that they don't like us, they don't want us, or they're mad at us. And I used to be like that. And now I learned that I'd rather have the guilt or the resentment. I'd rather have you mad at me because I'm putting something in place that's important to me, that's a value of me, that makes me feel comfortable, that makes me feel safe, and that's important to me. And I feel like if I'm implementing those things and you're trying to put me in resentment over them for me, then you're not for me. And that's why I think that having that mindset of guilt over resentment will bring you further in life, even with relationships, because it'll make people have more respect. And then this is the last but not least, and I should have made this the first one because it's honestly how I started. I did the reset. This is the reset button. That means stepping back, reevaluating my life, making new goals, and then stepping into the new. And that's basically what I did. I stepped back. I cut people off who were against me, who were lying to me, who were disrespecting me, who've done nothing but hinder me, who has shown me no true love, no true value, no true support. And I feel like with all those people that I disconnected from, that's exactly what they did. And I honestly don't have any guilt toward it. I don't have any guilt. I don't have any resentment. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter about it because I know that I have something better coming and something amazing coming, actually. And just me and God speaking in prayer, and me speaking in prayer. And I just feel it in my heart. And I'm just ready for it. I've dealt with so much that's over with. And now I'm stepping into a whole new mountain. Like a whole new mountain. This is the old mountain over here that I took a whole little machine and tore it down. And now I got this whole new mountain to climb, and I can't wait to get to the top of it. And I think that implementing your personal space and your boundaries and setting these key factors I put into this video, that will start you on a new path of owning and honing your own personal space. And once you start owning and honing your own personal space, you will not let anyone get in it that is not valuing it. And also, you won't want to get in it that don't have their own value of their own personal space either, because if they're allowing people to come in their own personal space and tear it up and cause drama, and they don't know how to speak for themselves because of fear or whatever they have going on, then you don't want that person in your life, no way, because that means that while you're walking through life with your head held high, with your boundary in place, this person is sitting there laying like a mat ready to be stepped on. And I definitely don't want nobody like that in my life. So definitely honing on your personal space and knowing who you are. You guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a blessed day.